And the next bit of content that you're probably going to want to get in here is some text. So you're going to use the type tool, but unlike most of the Adobe programs, clicking on it doesn't yield anything usable. Not at least like you might expect if you're coming from a background of Photoshop or Illustrator. You really do have to draw a box in order to fill it with text. Once you do that, then you get the cursor. Now the relationship is similar to the way a photo behaves. You have the text frame and then you have the text within it. So text can exceed the text frame or it can not quite fill it up. So just because I drew a text box and we can use the type fill with placeholder text, you can see, I'll shut this off so we can see it more clearly. You can see that if I drag this down, text doesn't change at all. I can move it around. It doesn't make the text bigger. Now again, you can hold down Shift Command to proportionally size things. I typically don't use that as much as I would with images because I'm not interested in diverting from my kind of previously established body copy size and any multiples of that. You guys will see what I mean a little bit more in just a little bit, but at any rate, I typically, even though you can intuitively do this, I don't like to very much. So this text frame can be however big you'd like it. When you move it laterally, the text conforms, but when you move it top and bottom, it doesn't really manipulate it in the way you would expect. It's only when you make the text frame smaller than the amount of text within it that you notice that anything happens and you get this overflow. And we'll talk more about this in class and how you can kind of manipulate this. For right now though, it seems unlikely that you guys are going to be creating 2 pages worth of content since we're just borrowing the first couple of paragraphs from Wikipedia. So speaking of, the first thing I want to do is get something other than this lorem ipsum in there for the aforementioned reasons we discussed in class. So I'm going to come over here to Wikipedia, copy, and then paste my content in there, and you can see I actually have more content than the text frame will allow as denoted by this overflow. So I'm going to drag this down and make sure that there's enough space to accommodate the text. If I hit Option Command C, it's going to shrink the text frame to the content. So if you go up here, fit frame to content, that's what's going to happen. Now that's helpful because we can start to kind of place things in. So right now I need to style this. Now a lot of you guys were probably doing this intuitively and handling it through, well, up here, up in the toolbar, and maybe you said Advanced Pro, and we'll make this regular, and voila. This is what I ended up with my body copy, 11/14. But that doesn't give us a lot of flexibility because if we want to change one thing about this, we have to do it up here, and we can't add some of the more open type features that we discussed via the Type Mule and some other projects in class. So in the next video I'm going to show you how to style text through something called paragraph styles, which long term is really going to be much more helpful.